Hi, I'm Gail with Forever Grateful Yoga. Thank you for joining me for this practice today. Today's practice will be a very grounding practice. It's helpful for relieving stress, anxiety, and bringing you into a bit more calmer state with your nervous system. So that's, excuse me, where we're headed today. And we'll get started in our seated mountain pose. Excuse my voice. So just checking in. If you're able to come forward and not need the support of the back of the chair, you can come about a third of the way forward. Just checking in that your feet are in line with your hips, your knees are in line with your ankles here. And beginning to settle in for the practice. Beginning to notice your feet and the surface that's beneath them. Maybe moving flesh away from sit bones and feeling those sit bones rooting down into the surface of the chair beneath you. And bringing those shoulders forward, up towards the ears, and they wash back and down as you lengthen up through the spine and the crown of the head. Maybe softening the gaze down towards the floor. Maybe closing the eyes entirely if that feels okay for you. And before we start this practice, before we make any movements with the body, I'd invite you to just take a moment to check in with yourself today. And if you're dealing with any physical challenges, any mental challenges today, I'd ask that you honor these challenges as we move through this practice. Just using this practice as an opportunity to explore, to work at a level that feels right for you today. And now taking the right palm to the belly, beginning to bring your awareness back to your breath. Inhaling through the nose into the belly and exhaling out of the nose, emptying out completely. And the belly rises beneath your palm with each inhale. And the belly falls as you exhale and empty out completely. Smoothing out the breath. Just a few breath cycles into the belly. No, you can always come back to the breath throughout the practice to bring you into the present moment. You can always come back to your breath at any time that you're feeling anxious or stressed. Breathing into the belly helps to calm the nervous system. And take one more breath cycle here. And at the end of the exhale, releasing that palm back down towards your thigh, softening the eyes open if you've chosen to close them. We'll come into a child's pose from here. So just leaning forward, stacking your arms, coming forward as much as feels comfortable. Begin to soften the head a bit, soften the shoulders. And just take a few breath cycles into the back body, into the shoulder area. And as you exhale, release any stress or tension that you might be feeling. Just a few breath cycles here. Inhaling into the back of the shoulders. Exhales, release any stress or tension. One more breath cycle here. Your next inhale, start to raise the heart and chest forward, raise the head up, little arch in that back. And as you exhale, begin to round that back, tucking the chin, gaze comes towards the navel. Little bit of cat-cow here. Inhale, opens up the heart space, little arch in that back. And the exhale rounds the back, tucking the chin. Just a few rounds at the pace of your breath. The next time you come into your rounded back cat shape, just be there. We'll take a full breath cycle once again into the back body, a nice big inhale. And a nice big exhale. Next inhale, the palms can come to the thighs and the spine and head can come back up to neutral. From here, we'll bring hands to heart center. Next inhale, reaches those fingertips skyward. Exhale, parts those arms. Inhale, reaches fingertips skyward. Exhale, palms to heart center. Few more times at the pace of your breath. Inhale's always raising fingertips skyward, and exhale, hand to heart center. One more round. Coming back, all meeting with hands at heart center. We'll come to first option if you're having problems crossing out the thigh, is to cross that right ankle over the left ankle. If you can cross at the thigh, we'll cross that right thigh over the left thigh. From here, we'll bring hands to heart center. We'll come into a twist. Inhale, reaches those fingertips skyward. Exhale, twist towards the right, left palm to the outside of the right thigh, right palm behind your back on your seat, and the gaze can follow. Inhales, find the lengthening in the spine. And exhales, maybe a little bit more deepness into the twist. One more breath cycle here. Next inhale, unwinds, reaches fingertips skyward. Exhale, parts those arms to shoulder height. Bringing the right arm on the bottom, left arm on top, eyes of the elbows to touch, either giving yourself a hug, maybe the backs of the palms touch, maybe the palms touch for full version of Eagle, Garudasana. Next inhale, we'll raise the elbows up any amount, and the exhale will lower them down. Inhale, raises up. Exhale, lowers down. One more time to inhale, raise those elbows skyward. And this time as you exhale, we'll tuck that chin. Bring those elbows in towards the torso, round that upper back a bit. Maybe resting the forehead on top of the palm here, the palms. Beginning to direct your breath into the back of the shoulders once again. Sending the inhales and exhales into that area. And as you exhale, release any stress or tension you might be feeling. Breathing into the back body. One more breath cycle here. Next inhale, we'll come back to that neutral spine, unwinding those arms, holding on to either side of the chair, sliding that left ankle on top of the right and extending our legs straight out in front of us. They can certainly be bent here. We'll do a forward fold here. We'll inhale to lengthen our spine nice and tall. And as we exhale, we'll lead with our heart, hinging right at that hip crease, coming forward any amount. Doesn't need to be a big forward fold. Most importantly is to keep this upper back nice and straight. Inhales, find that spine lengthening. Exhales, find you softening into the forward fold. And just taking a few breath cycles here. Remembering to breathe. One more breath cycle here. On your next inhale, we'll come back to that neutral spine, uncross the legs, come back into our seated mountain shape, and get ready to do the other side. So we'll come into a twist. First option is to cross that left ankle over the right if it's accessible, and you can cross the left thigh over the right thigh. We'll go there. Hands can be to heart center. Next inhale, raises those fingertips skyward. Exhale, twist towards the left, right palm to the outside of the left thigh, left hand behind your back on the seat, and the gaze can follow. Beginning to breathe into this twist. Finding yourself lengthening up through the spine and the crown of the head with each inhale that you take. And with each exhale, finding a bit more room for the twist. Taking one more breath cycle here. On your next inhale, we'll unwind, reaching fingertips skyward. Exhale, parts those arms wide to shoulder height. And then that left arm comes on the bottom, either giving yourself a hug, maybe the backs of the palms touch, maybe the palms touch. Beginning to soften the shoulders down away from the ears. Next inhale raises those elbows any amount. And the exhales lowers them back down. Inhale raises elbows skyward. Exhale lowers. And one more time to inhale, reaching those elbows up. As you exhale this time, we'll curl the chin in, round that upper back a little bit. Elbows come in towards the torso, maybe resting the forehead right on top of the palms. Beginning to send the breath into the back body, into that area between the shoulder blades. Beginning to release any stress or tension with each exhale that you take. Just letting it all go. I'm taking one more breath cycle here. On your inhale, we'll unwind those arms. The palms can come back to the seat chair. So we sit up nice and straight, sliding that left ankle on top of the right, extending those legs straight out in front of us. Feet are flexed. We'll come to a forward fold on this side, inhaling to lengthen up through the spine and the crown of the head. And as you exhale, we'll hinge forward, right at that hip crease, leading with our heart space, keeping that upper back nice and straight. Inhales, find the spine lengthening. And exhales, find us softening into this forward fold. And just a few breath cycles here. Releasing the stress and tension with each exhalation. One more breath cycle here. Next inhale brings us back up to that neutral spine. We can slide our feet in, coming back to that seated mountain pose. And just taking a moment here to notice any and all sensations. Just tuning in once again to your physical body. Noticing where your breath might be at. Noticing where your thoughts and emotions might be at. Knowing you can always come back to the breath to bring you back into the present moment. And from here, we'll inhale to lengthen that spine once again. And on the exhale, the head turns to the right. Inhale comes to center. Exhale, head turns left. Inhale brings us to center. Exhale, the head turns to the right. Inhale brings us to center. And exhale, head turns left. Inhale brings us back to center. Exhale drops the chin down towards the chest. Next inhale, we'll raise the nose and chin skyward any amount, mindful of your neck. And the exhale brings it back down. Inhale raises chin and nose skyward. Exhale brings it back down. And one more time. Palmating back with our chin towards our chest. On your next inhale, the chin traces the collarbone towards that right shoulder. The exhale brings it to center. Inhale, chin traces collarbone to left shoulder. The exhale brings it back to center. One more time from side to side. And then meeting back at center, chin is towards chest. Next inhale brings that head back to neutral. On your exhale, we'll drop that right ear down towards the right shoulder, keeping the shoulder soft, not scrunching it up towards your ear. Taking a few breath cycles into the side of that left neck. Releasing stress or tension with each exhalation. And welcoming you to extend that left arm, fingertips towards the floor, beginning to make some small circles in one direction with those fingers on the floor. And then coming to stillness and taking those circles in the opposite direction. And coming to stillness and just flicking those fingers a few times. And then stillness with the palm, bringing that palm back to the left thigh. Next inhale brings the head back up to neutral. Exhale brings that left ear towards the left shoulder. Sending the breath into the right side of the neck, into sensation. And releasing any tension as you exhale. And if you did so on the other side, taking the right fingers, pointing them down towards the earth as you straighten that right arm down to your side, beginning to make some small circles in one direction. And then making those circles in the opposite direction. And then coming to stillness, that palm can come back to rest on the thigh. Next inhale brings that head back to neutral. Sitting once again up nice and tall, bringing those shoulders forward on an inhale, up towards the ears, they wash back and down. And just a few rounds of circles with your shoulders in this direction. The next time those shoulders come to the ears and wash back and down, we'll pause there. Next inhale brings them up to the ears, forward. Exhale brings them down and around. And just a few rotations in this direction. And let's do 2 more in this direction. And then coming to stillness, we'll bring those shoulders once again up to the ears and they'll wash back and down. The palms can come to rest on top of the waist here. We'll do some full body circles here, beginning by inhaling to lengthen that spine. And as we exhale, our heart comes towards the right, center, left, and then rolls all the way back up and around. So trying to keep that spine nice and straight, almost as if you're a straw in a glass of water. And just making some circles, noticing any sensations. And then finding a spot where you might be able to take a pause in, beginning to take the circles in the opposite direction, heart towards the left, center, right, and then up and back again. And just a few circles in this direction. Let's do 2 more in this direction. Nice straight spine. And all meeting back at center, coming into a wide-legged shape here. And then rotating our palms to face up towards the sky. Next inhale, we'll lengthen that spine. And as we exhale, that right arm sweeps up and over for a side bend to the left. Inhale brings us to center. Exhale sweeps that left arm up and over to the right. And inhale brings us to center. And just continuing with a few rounds at the pace of your breath, pressing your feet down into the earth, keeping those sit bones rooted onto your chair as you're going back and forth from side to side. Continuing to breathe. And do 1 more round from side to side. All meeting back at center. Let's bring our palms to our hips once again. In a kind of a malasana shape here. We'll inhale to lengthen our spine. And as we exhale, we'll reach our heart over towards that right knee. Inhale comes to center. Exhale goes in the other direction, reaches our heart towards the left knee. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. And this time as we go towards the right, we'll take that left palm, if it's accessible, off of our hip and down towards the chin, rotating our heart any amount towards the wall behind you. And we'll take 3 breath cycles here. Nice big inhale deep into the belly. And exhale to send all that energy down the legs and the feet into the earth below. Nice big inhale into the belly. Exhale everything out, down the legs into the earth below. 1 more breath cycle just like that. The end of the exhale, begin to rotate that torso towards the floor. The hand can come to the hip. We can raise the torso up. Taking a moment here just to notice. And that might have been a little challenging for you. And taking a nice big inhale here. On the exhale, we'll reach our heart towards that left knee any amount, keeping that upper back nice and straight. You certainly can stay here, taking a few breath cycles. If it's accessible, you can take that right palm, reaching over towards the left shin, and then maybe rotating your heart a bit towards the wall and the gaze towards the wall behind you. And we'll take 3 breath cycles here. Nice big inhale deep into the belly, into the pelvis area. And exhale, sending all the energy down the legs, the feet, into the earth below. Another big inhale deep into the belly. Exhale everything out, let it go. 1 more big inhale deep into the belly. And exhale, let everything go. And then we can take that right palm back to the hip as we rotate the torso towards center, and then coming on up to that neutral spine, sliding the palms right on top of the thighs. Maybe softening the gaze down, maybe closing the eyes entirely. And just taking a moment to notice. Become aware of the support of the earth underneath your feet. Become aware of the support of the chair, feeling that sense of grounding. Feeling nourished and safe. Feeling the immeasurable beauty and support of the earth present within your body. And just be here for a few breath cycles, grounded, nourished, and safe. The immeasurable beauty and support of the earth present within your body. And softening the eyes open if you had chosen to close them. Coming back into our seated mountain pose. Coming to thread the needle from here. If this is too much for you, you can always just bring that arm across when we come to thread the needle, and you'll get a nice stretch in the shoulders this way. So sitting up nice and tall, starting with the right arm, we'll inhale that right arm skyward, the gaze can follow. As we exhale, we'll bend that elbow, the palm threads through, palm facing skyward, reaching towards the wall on your side. Inhale opens up nice and big, and the exhale threads that arm through. One more time, inhale to open up, and exhale, thread it through. This time we'll come all the way down on our shoulder if it's accessible. The gaze comes towards the floor, and we'll just be here for a few breath cycles. And once again, breathing into anywhere you're feeling sensation, any stress or tension, and just let it all go with each exhalation. Let's take one more breath cycle here. Next inhale presses through that left palm, bringing that right palm back on top of the right thigh, coming back to our seated mountain pose, doing the same thing on the other side. Next inhale raises that left arm skyward. Exhale bends at the elbow, threads that arm through, palm facing the sky, reaching fingertips towards the wall on your side. Inhale opens up big, gaze can follow. Exhale bends that elbow, threading it through. One more nice big inhale. Exhale threads that needle, bringing that arm all the way through, coming down onto the shoulder if it's accessible. If not, you can just do this, works fine. And the gaze is down towards the floor if you've chosen to come down. And just take a few breath cycles here. Breathing into any areas you're feeling stress or tension. And releasing everything with each exhalation. And one more breath cycle here. Next inhale, presses that right palm down as the left arm unthreads, bringing that palm to the top of the left thigh. And again, just taking a moment here to notice. And we'll come into one more forward fold before we have a full body scan relaxation. So we'll extend both our feet out in front of us, the knees and toes facing skyward. The feet are flexed here, your knees can be bent. You can hold on to either side of your chair for support here. We'll inhale to lengthen that spine, and as we exhale, we'll hinge forward at that hip crease, leading with our heart space, thinking cow here. Keeping that upper back nice and straight, being mindful of your hamstrings, and continuing to breathe into this forward fold. As you inhale, lengthen the spine and the crown of the head. And as you exhale, begin to soften into this forward fold any amount. Just a few breath cycles here. One more breath cycle here, taking your time. On your next inhale, we'll come back up to that neutral spine and slide our feet in. We'll set up for our final relaxation and then a final, just short meditation. So you can make yourself comfortable in your chair. If you wanted to lean back in your seat, you can lean back. You can extend your legs. If you felt comfortable in that child's pose shape, You can come into the child's pose shape. So just find a shape that you can be fully comfortable in, fully relaxed in. If you feel like you'd like to lie down on the floor in your Shavasana shape, you can do that. And get yourself settled in. And beginning to feel yourself letting go of the practice today. Beginning to feel the whole body relaxed and at ease. So we begin to settle in, feeling the toes relaxed, and the arches are relaxed, and the feet are relaxed, and the ankles are soft, and the shins and the calves are relaxed, and the knees are soft. The thighs are heavy, and the hips heavy, melting into the surface beneath them. And the belly is soft, the ribs are soft, and the upper arms, the elbows, and the forearms are all relaxed. The wrists are soft, and the palms, the fingers are all relaxed. Shoulders are heavy, and there's a softness at all sides of your neck. The jaw is relaxed. The cheeks and the lips, and the tongue comes off the roof of the mouth. The eyeballs and the eyelids are relaxed. The brow is soft. The forehead is soft. The scalp is soft. And the whole body is relaxed. The whole body is feeling that sense of ease and peacefulness. As we settle in for 1 minute of final silent meditation. You can begin to awaken your breath. Breath that fills your body with life, with energy. Beginning to make small movements with the fingers and the toes. Maybe circling out the wrists and the ankles. And softly moving the head gently from side to side. And maybe reaching arms overhead for a stretch. Maybe extending legs out. Taking any other movement that might be calling to you in this moment. Making your way back to your seated mountain pose. And the hands can come to heart center in Anjali Mudra. And softly bowing your head towards your own heart. And thank yourself for coming to this practice today. And the head comes back to neutral. As you're feeling your thumbs pressing into your heart space, may you live your lives with compassion. The thumbs come towards the lips. May you speak only words of kindness. Thumbs come towards third eye. May you see beauty in all things. Thank you all so very much for sharing the practice with me today. Namaste.